Wow. Welcome.
What?
Welcome.
What are we doing?
Everybody.
What just happened?
We're doing a little summer meltdown shout out.
I'm melting down. Can we
We're
melt
melting
yet?
it down, guys. Summer of 2019 in Darrington, Washington. No Simple Road is going to be at Summer Meltdown.
We're going to get to see Tipper and Humphreys McGee, Grammatic, Nako, Medicine for the People, Polish Ambassador, G. Jones, Closey, Brother Ollie, Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, Spafford, Minnesota, Dirtwire, Break Science, Manic Focus, Young Bay, Buku,
Okay, babe. They get it.
Shook Twins?
Shook Twins.
They get it.
Grateful
but
Shred?
You want to know what? I was going to say you could stop at Pigeons Playing Ping Pong because this episode
Oh, yeah. This
is
ties
all about Greg
So, yeah.
and pigeons.
There are 3-day, 2-day, and 1-day tickets available at summermeltdown.com. You can also go to www.nosimpleroad.com. Scroll down a little bit, look for the Summer Meltdown logo, and there is a link for tickets there as well.
Yeah, if you guys are going, buy it from our link.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that the
man.
people from Summer Meltdown can actually see that you guys are listening to the show.
And
And
look, if you can't make it for the whole thing,
You can
come
go
for a
for one day.
Yeah.
One day, come hang out. Look, if you're going to pick one day to go, I would suggest going on the day that we are going to be live podcasting from the Forest stage.
yeah,
would be
guys, we're going to
Sunday.
be on stage live podcasting. We're going to bring some people up if they're up for it. We're going to talk about what's going on.
I think we need to interview Jake again.
Well, we're definitely going to have Jake up there. It was my first thought when we talked about being live. I was like, Jake needs to be our fourth since
Yeah.
not Apple, but
Ryder.
Ryder's not going to be there. So, yeah, we're going to have a really, really great time at Summer Meltdown. We're going to do an amazing live podcast. We're going to see some really cool music. And I'm fucking stoked to see Tipper.
Yeah, is that so?
I am really excited to see that. Like, there's a lot that you mentioned there, like Nako, Medicine for the People. I've never seen them live or him live. Well, actually, we've seen him on the airplane, but I've never seen him perform. Grammatic is another one that some of the guys at work told me that they're super really stoked about. So I'm excited to see a lot of the stuff that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And to see Humphreys again.
Of
Humphreys
course.
Yeah,
always puts on
Humphreys
Of
is a
course.
good time.
Humphreys a guaranteed rump shaker for me.
So, No Simple Road will be podcasting live from the Forest stage on Sunday from 2 p.m. to 2:50 p.m.
And that is following the
winners of the contest.
Yeah, so they had a contest, Summer Meltdown did, for local bands around the country to see who was going to be able to get to perform. And
So we are following the
we are
winner.
following the winner. So stick around after that performance, and let's have a good, fun, clean time.
Go to
or dirty time.
www.summermeltdown.com
No. Go to our
or go to www.nosimpleroad.com and grab yourself a ticket. Come hang out with the No Simple Road family at Summer Meltdown and shake your groove.
And if you're on the fence, go watch the videos of past ones. Just watching everybody, the smiles, the floating in the river. It's just, man, it
Like
looks
Jason
so
said.
incredible.
Jason.
Yep, just like Jason said,
Oh,
if you're
Jason.
on the fence, get off the fucking fence. Come fly with the flock.
That's so funny. This episode of No Simple Road is brought to you by Define Premium Cannabis, guys. I'm about to smoke a little bowl of Do-si-do from
Do-si-do?
Yeah, Do-si-do.
Yeah, from Replio Farms.
Yeah. Define brings you all of your fantastic cannabis needs, from topicals to smokables to tinctures
Wipables.
and even stickers. They've got cool merch. They've just got really awesome stuff. So become part of the scene here in Hillsborough
Or
and
Forest Grove.
Forest Grove. Go say hi to the awesome bud tenders that they have that are giving you fantastic recommendations for your aches, pains, or maybe just a little recommendation for having a good Friday night fun.
Yeah, take care of your head, man.
Yeah, maybe a cool couple thing. They have like these awesome like things that you can try for
What? For intimacy. Ooh.
Yeah.
Bow, chicka, wow,
Yeah,
wow.
bow, chicken, brown, wow. Yeah.
What? Oh,
So
okay.
what?
Whatever.
Apple, they don't have that anymore, or they do?
You don't have
No.
bow, chicka,
Yeah,
wow,
they
wow?
do.
Yeah.
They have
do?
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a popular item, really.
Well, it should be.
Well, the bud tenders
know.
need to do a better job of selling
Yeah,
it.
And look, there's a lot of confusing stuff. When you walk
Yeah.
into a dispensary, if you aren't versed, it can seem overwhelming. And that's the mission of Define Premium Cannabis is to
Take that out.
educate their consumers, the people that are coming in, their clients. They want you to know what you're getting and get the right thing. They're not just trying to sell you some shit and get you out the door. They're going to take the time with you to explain what's going on and match you with the thing that you need. And also, not for nothing, but our brother Apple works out at the Hillsborough location.
Yes, I do.
And if you go in there Monday through Friday, you can ask for him. He will personally lend you a hand and educate you and help you out. And if you say that you are part of the No Simple Road family, that you listen to the show, you will receive 10% off your purchase and
free T-shirt.
so
It doesn't need to be said if Ryder's not here like that.
it's Ryder's thing, and we're
And
keeping it
Ryder
going.
is not
keeping it
here.
going.
We're keeping it rolling.
It's Ryder's thing.
Well, it's
Riders here in spirit.
in spirit.
Oh.
We're invoking
Neither
the
one
spirit
of you.
of Ryder.
Come
It
and
doesn't
get that
sound
10%
good.
off and a free T-shirt.
Free
And we are there to help you because it is confusing. I was
is.
just looking. I do inventory. We have like over 340 products, and that's
What?
a lot.
That's a
to
lot
know
of
about.
products. It's a lot of SKUs, and that's a lot of things to, like you said, know about. Like, what happens is the vendors go in there, give a little education to the bud tenders, and then they pass it on to you and answer your questions. And it is an amazing, amazing place to go.
So not only is the No Simple Road family making sure that you get your 10% off when you go into Define, but we're also making sure that you're educated. So head over to Hillsborough or Forest Grove. If you're not in the area, check them out on Instagram at Define Premium Cannabis. And take care of your head.
And one last thing we've got to say from the No Simple Road family and the Define family, wishing the best to Nicole, one of our super
Love you, sis.
awesome bud
Nicole,
tenders
yeah.
that is moving
Bon
on.
voyage, and
Yeah.
have a beautiful journey, my
Moving to
sister.
another
Joy
part
Ben.
of Oregon. We will
Absolutely.
be seeing you and wish you all the best, Nicole.
And everybody out there, send her good vibes. We'll see you soon. This episode of No Simple Road is sponsored by
Shop Tour Bus.
Where's Mel?
Well,
That do-si-do, did you in?
no.
Oh,
Sometimes I don't feel like joining in.
okay.
Sometimes I want to do my own thing.
Sometimes I rap slow.
No.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Close, babe.
Go to shoptourbus.com online or at shoptourbus on Instagram for all of your Grateful Dead inspired coolness.
And you
your
know,
merch,
any
your
day of the
shirts
week,
and stickers and
We
hoodies.
can be found wearing our Fire in the Mountain t-shirt, our which one?
Transitive
else?
Nightfall of
But
Diamonds.
I think I have the one with the skeleton and he's being held in the hammock. and I can't
Sleep in
remember-
the Stars. It's Birdsong.
Oh, okay, Birdsong.
Yep.
And yeah, the diamonds, Transitive Nightfall diamonds.
There's a lot happening over there
Yeah.
at Shop Tour Bus, you guys. And they became our very first sponsor on this show. They are our longest partner, and they take care of this family. And not only are they sponsoring the show, they're making sure that when you order from them, you get free shipping. They don't want you to have to pay again to get the stuff that you already paid for to your house.
So wait, how do you get free shipping?
You enter the code No Simple Road at checkout, and then it'll be like, boom, free shipping.
boom, boom, boom.
And you'd be like, oh shit, I was ready to
shit.
pay for freaking shipping and my shirt, and now all of a sudden I don't got to pay for shipping.
Mhm.
Maybe I should throw something else in there so that I can get that cute little no, it's not No Simple Road.
No, it's not. I mean, it would drive on No Simple Road.
It would. So they have a cute little pin, little bus pin, and it will drive on your No Little Simple Road free checkout and come to you with $50 or more purchase. I know that sounded confusing,
That was
guys.
super confusing.
Very
so if you
confusing.
order $50 or more, you're going to get a
Cute little bus pin.
as supplies last, a 1-inch little bus pin, and it's got a cool like gradient on it with a
But you
little
gotta say
lightning
it's
bolt,
cute.
and it's cute.
You
So
gotta
hook
say
yourself
it's
up.
cute,
Go
'cause
to
it is cute.
Go to shoptourbus.com online or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Pick yourself up some Grateful Dead inspired merchandise. It'll come to you in a hand designed box with all kinds of treats, toys, gigas, and whatnots in it.
A bootleg with
And
a pencil to spool it.
Yeah, and you will get
More than you bargained for.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Hi, I'm Richard the Rastafarian from Fear of a Craft Beer Planet. a podcast that talks a lot about the parallels between the beer industry and the music business. But really, we talk about whatever we want. The show is made up of 4 of us. Me, Richard the Rastafarian, the radio guy, Jay Rose, Ryan Egan, and Rob Forzik. They're the beer guys. They're the ones that teach me about craft beer, and I'm the one that gets the show on the air. You can find us on all social media platforms at Fear of a Craft Beer Planet.
What? Are we back? Hello, is this thing on?
Yeah,
Mel?
this thing's on.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. What's cracking out there? How y'all doing? How's your week going? Everybody
You're not
feeling
gonna hear
good?
An answer.
You're not?
No.
No, I'm asking them. I
You're
hear
not gonna
hear
hear.
them.
Hear
I
all
do.
of
I
them.
Really?
hear all the
What are they
voice-
saying?
I'll channel it. We're
Do it.
doing good.
Really?
Everyone is
Awesome
doing
week.
good.
Oh, hard. Right on, you guys.
Well, the people who aren't doing good weren't speaking up. So
No.
I just heard
Oh,
Their
they're
voices are
speaking up.
much quieter.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like,
The birds are chirping. That's all we hear.
And they're like,
chirp, 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 chirp. How's everybody doing, man? It's been a good week. It's been a busy, let's get going week. I got to say, we're 5 days out from Northwest String Summit.
Yeah.
It
It's a
is
fun
getting
little countdown.
exciting. All these, Aaron went on and ordered several things to make our campground and our 10 by really awesome.
The
So
thing
all
that
these
I'm
boxes are coming.
most excited about, most out of everything that we're taking with us to Summit and Summer Meltdown, I bought a little
Coffee
handheld
maker.
espresso maker because when we go to festivals or camping, that is the one thing that I wish, like, I don't care how much fun I'm having, I wish I was at home because I'm not having good coffee. And I got this little handheld espresso maker
Got
that
another
you
gadget.
pump it.
You
and-
guys,
and
it's
espresso
fucking
comes out.
annoying when, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with this out there. Whatever your partner's into, and then they get multiple ones that they don't fucking use,
I'm
and
gonna
they
use
sit
the shit
there
out of this
and
thing.
collect dust, but they won't get rid of the ones that they don't
No,
use.
you gotta keep
they
those.
keep them all, and then they continue to add
It's-
to it and
you-
add and
It's
add.
like the Aaron Museum of
Ugh.
coffee gadgets.
Yeah, man.
It's annoying. It's
Wow.
not like I don't want you to have it. It's just
Mel doesn't
annoying.
want me to drink coffee, you guys. That's
No,
what it
I
is.
don't want Aaron to smoke cigarettes in my fucking face during interviews.
Have I? Did I smoke today?
Yeah, I'm
In
sure
your
you
face?
did. I'm sure you did.
You didn't say one word.
I just said a bunch of words.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Sorry, guys. I'm not giving shade to Aaron, but it's been annoying me lately, really
yeah,
bad.
we had a talk about it the other night.
Yeah.
So we're good.
You know, sometimes when you need to elevate to the next level, it's uncomfortable, and Aaron doesn't need to be smoking anymore, and he knows it, but he still likes it.
mm-hmm.
So I'm not giving him a hard time about liking it. I'm giving him a hard time about how it
We
makes
weren't
me
even
feel.
talking about smoking. We were talking about coffee and me being excited about having a brand new espresso
Go back
maker.
to it, babe. Go back to it.
Well,
I
now we're
am.
talking about the many annoying things that you do.
I know, right?
Just
Whatever.
the cigarettes.
And
That's what we're talking about. I
we
didn't
got
go
a
on
little
to anything else.
we got a little handheld thing that spins around and it froths the milk so you can make a latte.
That's the second
at
one
your
that we've
campground.
gotten because I already
Well,
know
the
about
first
that.
one broke. It didn't work anymore. And I used the shit out of that thing. I used it so much the motor broke. So you can't say I didn't use that one. I used that one. And we got cool lights and we got a big dude, we ordered this what do you call it? Carpet. But it's not a carpet. It's not.
Well, it's an
It's
outdoor
like a
carpet.
plastic weave carpet that looks like a bitchin' rug that you can easily clean.
Dude,
Mhm.
That thing's gonna
it said 9 by
awesome.
12 on the Amazon listing, and I was like, oh yeah, 9 by 12. That's like, two of me and like a little more than me the other way. Holy shit, the thing is so big we could hardly open it up in the house. It was like gigantic.
Yeah, we could
It-
use it as a sail for the No Simple Road tour
boat.
bus
Yeah, or the boat.
or the boat.
Yeah, when we get the No
Buses
Simple
have
Road.
sails.
They could. Why not?
This week's episode is Greg Ormont from Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. And we didn't ask him how the band got the name. Just saying, that didn't happen. I think that having that name for his band and then going into an interview, like, that's just such a obvious softball
Well,
question.
and people want to know that though.
Well,
Go
look it up,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
I'm just saying.
They're
But
not going to find out in this interview what it
Mhm.
means.
you're not. But
You're
you can
not.
go online and find out. And I know that we're doing a lot, and there's a lot to be excited about. But after talking to Greg, like, I'm really, really looking forward to going to another Pigeon show and having it be first at Hornings and then following them up north to Summer Meltdown.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty amazing. These guys put on a hell of a show.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about high energy and fun and
Well, it was cute the other night, like when the night that we interviewed Greg, it was my mom's turn to cook, so we were in the kitchen, and I was like, Mom, we have an interview tonight, and she was like, who you interviewing? So I pulled up a picture of Greg and I put on some music, and the second I put on the music, my mom starts grooving out.
She was dancing in the kitchen.
She was literally dancing in the kitchen. It was so cute, and food was bomb that night.
Yeah,
she
it was.
made lettuce wraps, some pork
That
and
was bomb.
chicken mushroom lettuce wrap. So nice inspiration, Greg, and the fellow pigeons out there that helped my mom
Inspired
dance.
our lettuce wraps.
Yeah.
well, it was like a family affair, and the
It
interview
was.
too is awesome. It's all about family, and like he just got married, and it's a
Aw.
lot of awesome stuff going
Yeah.
on for him.
Mm-hmm. And it's exciting too. Like I said, like getting to speak to them, and then knowing that we're gonna go see them just a couple weeks later, or a week
Yeah.
and a half later, or whatever. Like, this time of year is really busy and it's difficult physically and mentally, but it's so much fun.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
so much fun happening. And that was the thing that was impressed on me the most through this interview, was what Pigeons is all about is fun.
Yeah.
Like, coming from that place, creating an atmosphere for the crowd that's fun, making music that makes you want to dance.
It's like somebody, like a toy maker, He's making a toy for
a
fun.
psychedelic toy.
Yeah, and like all the Toys R Us's are out of business and stuff like
That's
that.
sad.
And like
Oh,
you
what
have
happened
to
to
like
Joffrey?
you have to really like find a toy store these days. Like, it's a thing, and it's cool when people are making music, building stuff, creating clothes, anything that's specifically for fun. I'm totally down with that. We need more play and we need more fun.
You think so?
Well, I mean, not specifically us. I think we've got a really good amount.
Think
But
we
I
got
mean,
a handle on the fun quotient.
in general, it's nice to have things that are made just to enjoy. Not, well, you got to figure this problem out, and then you got to, no, let's just have a good time.
Mm-hmm. And being that, like, Pigeons thing is funky, and it's hard to not shake your ass when there's funk playing. Like,
Well, like, it's just moving, period. Like, your stanky neck, your
Stank-
waist.
what's
like,
stanky neck?
You kind of like bring it into your shoulders and like
Get that-
groove it like back and forth.
Like
Yeah,
like
see,
that.
look at
I picture
look
like
at
pigeon,
Apple.
like how a pigeon
okay.
bobs its head too, like
Yeah.
you get into it.
Mhm.
I wish you guys could see Apple right now. He looks like a
know.
pigeon.
The minute I said it, Apple knew exactly what I was talking
that
about.
neck,
Yeah,
that neck snap.
yeah.
and
so
we
you get
learned that
shoulders and
Mel's a
everything.
mother flocker
Oh
in
yeah.
this interview.
I guess I am a mother flocker.
You're a mother flocker. And lots
Aaron
of other
and
fun
I
stuff.
had this like speech, or not? It wasn't a speech. We didn't have a speech. That was a lie.
What?
Aaron and I had this conversation the other day in the grocery store about me being a deadhead again, and
I didn't.
titles.
Oh yeah, titles.
And he's like, "You have a problem."
You do. You have a hang up.
Like, I was gonna go to AA or something. He's like, "You have a problem, Mel. You have a problem with." I can't even
Okay.
say
Say
it
it.
seriously.
Say it.
with titles
Uh-huh.
because I don't.
You're the person that's eating a grilled cheese saying you don't like grilled cheese.
I never have said
You
that.
have
No.
to start going to
I've
meetings.
That's a
I've-
metaphor.
I like grilled cheese.
You got to start going to meetings. My name's
Yeah.
Melanie, and I'm a deadhead.
So Aaron gets mad that I don't
I don't
like
get mad.
identify myself with
Mm-mm.
something, but I'm
That's
like,
not
so
true.
if you like to do something, does that make you that thing?
No, you're you know what you are. You're a music head.
Yeah. And that was what I was saying. That was exactly what I was. The conversation wasn't about being a deadhead.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was talking about, you were like, I'm not a festivarian.
Yeah.
I'm not one of
Well,
those people.
first of all, guys,
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
are.
just declaring it. It wasn't like, I am not. That's
a
not how it
festivarian is a
started.
person at a festival.
I've been to 3 festivals in my life.
So have you been there?
Maybe 4.
Then you're a festivarian.
Is that no?
Did you enjoy it?
Of course, that's why I
Was
said
it
that.
good
That
for
was
you?
never. I never denied the.
That was good for you. Was it expensive?
Well, yeah, it was definitely maybe not financially. It wasn't financially good for me, but as far as fun and dancing and meeting amazing people and having a great time, abso-freaking-lutely. I love the activities associated with music-related events, period. It can be a festival, it can be a concert, it can be a fucking park. It doesn't matter, but if there's music, I'm down with it.
You're a
And
music head.
yeah, I love music. And Aaron gets mad because like
Aaron doesn't get mad. Stop saying
okay,
that.
whatever it is, whatever the emotion is, but like you want me to like I like John
Admit it.
Mayer. I like the Grateful Dead. I like John Mayer. I like Pigeons Playing
That's
Ping
all I was
Pong.
looking
I
for.
like
Well,
frickin' Andrew Hendrix. I like
I get
whatever.
very excited seeing how you are now, Melanie. Because you used to not be as on board for like the travel to go things and stuff. Now you get excited, like.
Well, things are different. Like I don't
gotta
have
say,
the
especially
babies.
how excited you guys were about returning to Dick's this year.
Yeah.
It made me make my final reservation. All I have to
Wait,
do is get tickets
what?
now.
Apple's coming to Dick's?
I made
What?
my reservations last weekend as soon as we
Uh-oh.
finished doing the intro for Annabelle's
That's
episode.
so funny, dude.
I had the extra money, and I was like, you know what? Just do it. It's worth it. Who's gonna say?
I got a text from Apple at work, and he was like, "I'm going to."
Got all my
Dick's.
confirmations.
And it was really rad because behind the scenes, I was like, I don't want Apple to go. I just want it to be our thing. And Aaron's like, it's not going to be a big deal. And I'm like, I know it's not about Apple, but it's like our thing. And then the second he purchased it, I was like, yay!
Well, because
Like-
it's now turned into it's not just a you
No,
thing,
it's
because
not.
you're going there to meet Annabelle,
No.
and Tommy's going to be
And
there.
we're going
There's
there
going to be
to
so much
just,
going on.
again, have a really great time. It's kind of like the end of the summer thing.
Listening to these fish show, like we all were standing out there last night
Yeah.
listening to the fish show from Connecticut the other night. Oh my God, they are just so on fire, and that's going to be wrapping it up for this tour. I mean,
Yeah, man.
we're going to have an amazing show.
Yeah, so just when it has to do with anything that has to do with music, and it's not like boring music, I want to go. I want to have
What's boring music?
to me,
Yeah.
like an entire what's boring music? Let me think.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that's a tough
That's a
one.
hard question, man. I was gonna say opera off the top of my head,
Yeah,
but
but
that
it's
might
not boring.
That might
But
not even be boring.
Well, you might find it boring at this moment. Like,
Right.
I don't want to listen to that, but then later be like, yeah. I'm
Well,
in
you
the
know,
mood.
okay, maybe boring isn't a really good word because now that I'm like trying to like go through the Rolodex and I'm
Mhm.
thinking like even country music, I would probably enjoy it.
Yep.
I know how to get down with country music, and like a symphony. Maybe it's not like
That would
getting
be
down,
badass.
but
Yeah.
it would be really amazing to hear them.
You wouldn't be like yawning like, oh,
No, so I
mean,
maybe boring isn't the right word for music, but I don't know.
Well, I don't. Think
I guess
that,
you know what, it really depends. I'm down for whatever, anytime, unless I have something else I want to do.
I think that's
That's
true
really
with
what-
everybody
That
on the
makes
planet.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
That I think that covers everybody in the world. Like I'm down for whatever as long as I don't have something
no,
else to
I don't
do.
believe my mom's not down for whatever. She's not. She's not.
No, she's not.
No.
She's not.
Fuck those
She-
people.
Yep. She
Fuck
don't want
that
her.
shit.
Your dad, he's not down for whatever.
Okay, you're right. I take it back.
I say both. I'm
Yeah.
old enough to know what I want, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Get away
See,
from me
People
with that.
exactly.
burping and farting and breathing
Yeah,
my
like-
air.
Yeah.
I'm down to have a good time as long as I don't want to do something else with my family, and that's usually the conflict. Is
Yeah.
like if I have to choose between doing something with my
Well,
family.
at this point, it's all rolled into one.
Yeah, it is. It really is. That's what makes me grateful for the show, is that it involves and includes all of us.
Yeah, that is a really cool part of it. And you know, we were talking earlier about, you know, things growing and getting bigger, and you asked me how I felt about it. And I went into this whole thing that
We had to cut that out.
Yeah, we had to cut
Oh.
all that out because the leaf blower was blowing. But you know, when I was little and I first got into music, I really wanted to be the one making the music, and it was a regret that I carried with me subconsciously for a lot of years, that I got distracted from wanting to do that and let other things take over in my life. And it wasn't even a conscious thing. It was buried deep down in there. And ever since starting the show, I realized it. And this thing has filled that desire in me. And I feel as much a part of the music as if I was making it now, because I'm helping get it out.
You are putting out, I feel like we're creating an album with the show. Like, I was thinking about that. Like, think about if, like, Friends, they were on for like 9 seasons, 10, whatever, however many seasons they were. And then they've got these like CD box sets, like first season, this is when Monica, blah, blah, blah. Like
Ross and Rachel.
Yeah, like if we were to like merchandise our show and put them on CDs, 100 episodes,
Oh my
we'd
God.
probably have
Yeah,
like
big box
yeah
set.
we'd have like 425 box set, 25 box sets.
It
and
could
then
be a school bus.
exactly. I was thinking about this the other day. I really was, like, how cool it would be to buy something like that and to have it. But then I'm like, why would you need to have anything? Like,
you can just turn on your
yeah,
phone.
you can turn on your phone. You don't even want to hear the lower quality of whatever it's going to be
But
put
that's
onto.
the cool thing about like vinyl and stuff. It
Yeah,
is
vinyl
cool
is
to
cool.
have the
Sure it
physical
is.
thing with the liner notes and all that. Yeah, that is
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
It is. It's cool.
But
But what my point was that it very much is like any piece of art that people put out. Like, we are putting out art, whether we realize it or not. Our voices, our opinions, our conversations, our inspiration that we get from it. It's all a creative force that's happening, and it feels good to be a part of.
yeah, it does. And you asked me how I feel about
Yeah.
it, and I'm hopeful.
Oh yeah, those 3 words.
I'm hopeful. I'm excited. And I forgot what the third one was. But yeah, I am hopeful and excited, and I'm proud of what we're doing and what we've done, and it really does excite me to see what's happening, and
Would you say you're passionate about it?
extremely, sometimes to a fault, because I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, we're all passionate
Yeah.
about it now. And look forward to the next thing. There's never a dull moment. There's always something going on, something on the horizon, something coming to fruition.
Fruition.
This thing is moving.
Yeah, man. And
The train is chugging.
it's cool to see it progressing from, I don't know if this happened before we cut or not, but like just starting on the porch and doing the thing at home, and then slowly getting out and being at shows and people knowing that we were there, and then going from that to being at a festival with a booth, and then going from that to being at a festival on the stage.
There's a wish.
Doing,
Look.
Oh,
yeah, the wishes are out.
Wishes are floating everywhere. Going from that to not just having the booth to being on the stage doing the podcast live. It seems like the natural progression of things. And so
Without even like
no, we didn't plan it.
Well, yeah, definitely not the planning part, but like, who would have thunk it? Well, you know what I mean? Like, who would have
What?
thunk any of that?
Well, like you said, the planning part, we couldn't have planned. We couldn't have planned where this is going and where it's going from now.
And I think that's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah.
We never know where we're going to be or what we're going to be interested in.
Yeah,
We didn't know
we're
shit about Summer
improvising.
Meltdown last year.
Yeah, and we're like improvising, just like all these
Yeah.
bands we love and talk to and everything.
Yeah.
Just being open to where life is going to take you.
So aside from music and what we're doing, what could you relate it to? Like the journey of
Writing. A writer might have an idea for the story, but they don't know the bones and the sinew and the connective tissue of the story. They write the story. It comes out as they imagine it. They may have an idea for the outline of it,
Yeah.
but then they have
Like
to
the
fill
idea
in
for the book.
They have to fill in the parts.
Yeah.
And that's how this has been. I had an idea of what I wanted it to be, but it completely became something else. And then it started changing all of our lives.
Yeah.
And now here we are. And so we're on the ride together. And that, like I said earlier, is one of my favorite things about all this is that we all get to do this together with the people that listen.
Yeah.
And they're as much a part of this as we are. And that's the coolest part. Like, it really is a community of people.
One of the guys at work was saying the
And
other day
animals.
that he ran into another musician friend at a concert and was saying that this kid was wanting to be more part of the scene. And I was like, well, what's the scene? And he's like, you know, the community of music. And it just was like a little ping in my brain that underline everything. People want to be a part of something.
Yeah, I wanna
People
be
love,
included.
yeah, they love like being the first people that have, you know, seen the movie, or the people who write a review, or somebody who's the beta tester for something. People get excited about being a part of something. And then when that thing becomes popular or more known, there's almost like an ownership to it. Where it's like, well,
You're
I
a
knew
founding
I knew
member.
about that first. I tasted that first, you know, and it's exciting. And it's not to exclude anybody. It's just kind of one of those fun things that is really neat to.
Well, it's rad to be with other like-minded people. And what I was laughing about just a second ago when you said that is like, even the people that don't want to be a part of things become a part of something. They become a part of the people that don't want to be a part of things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Club.
yeah.
They
You
start
fucking can't help it,
Yeah,
man.
that's
yeah,
a group
like
too.
why do people like that? It's so dumb. Let
Yeah.
me listen to why it's dumb.
Yeah, the other people that don't like that thing are like, yeah, we didn't think that's stupid to be a part of things together, whatever.
Let's make
But-
shirts.
Anti.
Yeah, we're
shirts.
anti-grouping. I love it, and I'm so excited to be at String Summit, and I'm so excited to be at
Yeah.
Meltdown, and I'm excited to go to Dick's, and I'm excited for everybody to hear Greg. And
Yeah.
I just
And we have a special thing right before Greg comes on. We are going to put in a sweet little short interview that we did with Kevin from Thinsters. He and 3 other wonderful friends of his got together and decided to create a cookie company with, guess what? Natural
with
ingredients.
real stuff in the
Real
cookie.
stuff.
Real ingredients.
Wait. They're not using like bullshit.
No, he said, hey, why don't we go back to grassroots and use like butter
I think
and
it's funny. It's like,
cane sugar.
We use real
and-
ovens.
Yeah, which in these times it sounds funny, but no, that's really cool that you're getting real cookies, and you're going to hear how they came up with the whole Grateful Dead inspired merchandising and
It's cool, man.
yeah, his little story, and he's also a musician, and so yeah, if you
That's the
are-
opening band for Greg.
Yeah, the opening band for Greg today is Kevin from Thinster Cookies.
So yeah.
So enjoy that.
Yeah, you guys, you'll dig it. He's a really cool guy, and what they're doing is really neat, like Mel said. So, you know, all the stuff that's going on with us and our lives and Jasper and
Oh my God,
all of it. It's
Jasper.
like Mel and I have been talking a lot lately.
Can we do a Jasper pause?
Oh,
He had on this morning karate pants, a little gi,
it was fucking cute as shit.
and
man.
shirtless.
That baby, dude.
And was eating his little papaya popsicle. Like, I can't even with that baby.
I can't even.
I
even
can't
with you right
because
now.
he's so sweet, you guys. Let's
But-
just a moment of silence for Jasper real quick.
All right, that was good. You know, with all of it, it's Mel and I have been talking a lot lately about how fast time goes and how it feels
For
like
us, anyway,
how
how
it
we've been
feels like
feeling.
sometimes we can just be being swept through life by the current. Like
Yeah.
you're caught in the wave being tumbled.
I told Aaron to me that it feels like somebody's like sweeping at my heels, you know, like just keep going forward, move forward. And nobody likes that. Nobody likes when shit hits their
And
heels.
I told
It
Mel that
hurts.
she's doing that to herself. She's the one
Yeah.
holding the fucking broom.
He did tell me
sweeping
that.
at her own goddamn feet, and I
Yeah.
told her she needs to chill the fuck out
He made me
and
cry.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he did. He made me cry.
And not mean.
No, he did. He wasn't mean at all. Like he did. He put me in my place in a good way. Like I get all excitable, you know, and then
You're really tough on yourself.
I'm really, especially lately.
Mhm.
Lately, I've been really hard on myself. I don't have. I mean, I do have an explanation for it. It's just a long one. It's, you know, sometimes you feel like you. That's that right there. Feel like you, and then this is the word should. Everybody should hate that word. Should is was it? You shouldn't shit on me, and I won't shit on you.
Mhm. Thank
But
you, Wookie Foot.
it's that should word, and it's in my mind. It's been creeping in my mind lately. It's been bothering me about things that I've been doing, about things that I've done, blah blah blah. How I should be being with my daughter, and then I should be home, and I should be. I mean,
Well,
it doesn't end. It deals
started
with my.
The other day when we were talking, you're like, I should be taking care of myself. I'm like, where did you just leave?
Yeah.
You're like the doctor.
Well, yeah, I just left my acupuncture
You need to fucking
appointment.
relax, man. Like,
I'm not acknowledging even the things that I'm doing, and that's the huge problem, is that even though I'm feeling like that, I'm currently doing things to dispel that or take that away, all the while upset that it's not away.
Yeah, and I told you, like, at what point are you going to give yourself credit? And also, at what point is enough and you can just enjoy where you're at? Fucking take a breath, man. Like, breathe and be here right now instead of what you should be doing later and what you could have done in the past and what could happen 6 years from now, 5 minutes, 8 days. Like, fuck that shit already. I've had enough. For myself, like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you.
No,
like,
I know what you mean. Enough's enough.
It drives me fucking crazy in my head how I do myself like that. And I recently have been just like, you know what, man? Shut the fuck up already. Enjoy yourself. Look where you're at. Look what you've done.
Shut the fuck up and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
A few days before you put
Be
me in
here.
check, I was putting you in check. I'm like, all right, with the fucking work thing. We all know that you don't want to be there, but you know what? You put yourself there, and you're there. So fucking enjoy it while you're there. And then you had to give me the almost identical conversation, just change with the lettering a little bit, and that goes to show, like, we really are. When you're married or when you're in a relationship with somebody, not even married, I'll just take that out, because just when you're
partners with somebody.
Yeah, when you're in a partnership with somebody, sometimes their good stuff and bad stuff rubs off on you, and you need to help each other through that, or sometimes you guys are just going through the same thing, the same life lesson, just in a different color, and that's kind of what's been going on, and just not giving myself enough like props on the inside. Like, on the outside, when I look around, I'm really grateful for everything. My God, like, I'm proud of how I look. I'm proud of what I've created. I'm proud of how I think. I'm proud of my relationships. And then I internalize
and then you give yourself
everything.
Shit for all of it.
Yeah, exactly. The one hair that's out of place, like the one thing that's like the stupid
I
little.
farted, and everybody's gonna smell it.
The bunion that's on my foot. How dare you have a bunion? Like,
you're not taking care of your feet.
Yeah.
You're falling apart.
Yeah. So
No, my God.
beware, everybody out there, of that shoulder. And shut them out as soon as you see them. The shooter.
You put your shit on me, and I won't put my shit on you.
Yeah, so thanks for making me cry, babe. I deserved it, and I needed it, and it was fantastic.
You're welcome. I love you. And for all you guys out there, man, I think that at least the people that we surround ourselves with, we are all thinkers. A lot of us are in our heads a lot of the time, whether it's because we use psychedelics, or we're just people that have that proclivity to do that, and it can be wrought with pitfalls, man. There's a lot going on in the world, and it affects us, and whether you're conscious of it or not, like, it's all happening at the same time, and a lot of noise gets in our heads. And I know for me, a lot of noise gets in my head, and it's really important for us to stop the noise, to take a step back and let ourselves breathe and enjoy where we're at. And if where you're at isn't cool, take a step back and look at why and move forward. You're not stuck. You're not rooted.
It's
where
only
you're
your
at.
head
Yeah,
where
man.
you're stuck, because everywhere else around, is not like that. Even if you're in a prison, it's mostly your head. You feel like you can't leave. And I'm not talking about like mental health or anything like that. I'm not talking deep. I'm talking about surface stuff, your everyday things. You get into the mental health part, and then you go even deeper into that. But we all give ourselves such a hard time about living.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Well,
living.
in the end, you're in control. You are in control. You can't let that thing control you. If you do,
No.
then that's the pitfall. You don't let
That's
control
true.
you. You
But-
have the power. Our minds are incredible.
Our minds are better than any freaking computer out there.
It's a manifestation machine. Your
Yeah.
mind is a machine that manifests reality.
And I just realized that I've been putting more steps on the way to my road for no reason by thinking that
It's
way.
not simple.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm making sure of it too.
yeah. You know,
Look at there's another wish.
Are we ever going? Is it ever going to get to where we are? It's just simple road. I
I
don't think so. That's
Or it's just
life
gonna be
journey.
road.
Road.
Yeah, road.
That's the trick of the be
Hey,
here
do you
now
guys listen
thing.
to Road?
That is the trick of the be here now thing, man. It's a constant
It's not
remembering.
a trick. It's an embodiment. It's not a trick. You are here now, or you are not
I know.
here now.
For me, like lately, in those moments when I start to feel overwhelmed or I start to feel anxiety, I have been reminding myself that I'm here. And then I like will listen to the reason that I was feeling anxious or overwhelmed, and it's stuff that hasn't happened yet. And I'm worried about things that are coming or that an expectation that I've put on myself.
What ifs?
Oh, did-
So
I-
dumb,
and I'm like,
too.
oh shit, I don't have to do that. Like, wow. But by no means have I attained. Like,
no,
it's still.
because I think I was listening to the episode either last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was like saying the opposite of this. Like we were like not feeling like this. We weren't feeling like all those, pressure. It was a good week, and then very next week doing that, making yourself feel pressure about shit like you said that hasn't happened yet. And it just shows how cyclical we are as human beings too. Like sometimes we really do have our shit together, either for a day or for the night or for the month or for the week. Like we for real have our shit together. We're eating good, we're waking up, we're exercising, we're doing good work, we're loving our people and all that great stuff. And then we have a freaking stupid day, hour, week, and then that's how our life is. Like that's how we're interpreting our life. Like, oh,
It's always like
we
this.
suck, and like I'm sorry to Melanie out there, all the Melanies that you can identify out there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All the Melanies and Aarons and Apples that give yourself a hard time.
So we're gonna go into this rest of the summer, with an attitude of
Fun.
gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude and attitude
and
of fun.
We're gonna take the lead from Greg and Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, and we're gonna create fun wherever we go, and that's the goal, fun, and that's by enjoying the moment.
And we're going to have fun with cookies. So enjoy this little
But
what?
before we have fun with cookies,
Business.
yeah, we gotta do
The
this.
business.
The business. Yay, business.
Follow us on Instagram and all
Beep,
the
beep,
social
beep,
media
beep, beep, beep,
platforms
beep, beep, beep,
at
beep.
No Simple Road. You know,
NoSimpleRoad.com.
if you haven't followed No Simple Road, if you haven't subscribed to No Simple Road, you should do that now.
Yeah.
Right now, you should go to Instagram and do that.
We would appreciate it.
Do
would.
it.
You should leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts too. That would be really smooth,
Ooh.
and sweet,
Do
and
we have
kind
any
of
fun
you.
new ones?
And you should also head to www.nosimpleroad.com. Deadline is happening for tickets to Northwest String Summit. When this comes out, it will be Sunday.
Can we
and-
congratulate?
And you will have just a few moments left to buy tickets for Summit. And if you can't go the whole thing, there are single-day passes available, 2-day passes and whatnot. So go over there and check it out. Also, the couple weeks after that is Summer Meltdown. We're going to be live podcasting from there, like we said earlier. And you can get your tickets through our website there as well. And we want to congratulate at Tomfoolery on winning the pair of 3-day passes to Northwest String
Yay.
Summit.
Darwin did a
Yay.
really good job of, we did it on live, and
Yeah.
so next time we won't do it that way.
Well, we'll do it on
Well,
live and post.
yeah, and post.
I did post after that because people were wondering what happened.
Well, yeah, because I got people were hitting me and Apple up and stuff like that, and we want to make sure that it's fair and everybody knows what happened.
Yeah.
So
at Tomfoolery, you are
you
going
were
to
the winner.
Northwest String Summit with
Yay.
a friend. Congratulations on behalf of Osiris Podcast Network and No Simple Road.
And we do have a new 5-star review, and
Yay.
it is just 21 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is very recent.
Let's
and
hear
this
it.
is Chris 181 Westy.
Right on, Chris 181 Westy.
Great podcast! Exclamation point. Love the family vibe and all the great concert festival coverage and the artist guests. Come visit us in Michigan at Electric Forest. Much
Oh.
love, sincerely.
And Electric Forest keeps coming up a lot. Thank you for
Yeah.
that, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. You know, we shall see what 2020 has holding in its hand of cards for us. There are lots of things that we would like to do next year. I would really love to be at some shows back east. I would love to be at Lockin' next year. I would love to be on Jam Cruise next year. I would love to go to Mexico next year if we can. All the things that people want to do.
Yeah,
So
people to see all over the country.
yeah. So thank you for that review. That is super smooth and cool of you, man. I appreciate it. And much love back to you. Thanks for taking the time to do that. And for those of you that haven't, take a minute.
It's that easy.
Yep. Boom. And then we'll read it on the show. It's kind of like a smoke signal, a digital smoke signal from the family to us, letting us know we're doing a good job. And if you really want to send us like a really awesome smoke signal, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how we keep doing what we're doing, and that is how the show is continuing to grow. And for those of you that have signed up recently, we love you guys, and thank you so much. Patreon is the monetary arm of the No Simple Road family. That's how we take care of the bills around here, you guys. So if you want to see us continue to do this and get bigger, help us out. Patreon.com/No Simple Road. And you can also go to NoSimpleRoad.com and sign up on the family tab for the newsletter. And you can get No Simple Road merch there. There's T-shirts left, and we have some new stickers. And
The Reddit.
I was just looking at the Reddit.
What's up? What's going
well,
on
there's
Reddit?
a lot of really cool stuff that I haven't seen in a while. Like some of it's old, but some like 16 days ago was Shafty at Goodfoot this weekend, and then a little bit
Shafty's awesome, by the
a
way.
little bit over a month ago was just somebody posting about having an extra ticket to the Gorge, Discord channel stuff.
Wow.
Asking if anyone is going. This is 2 months ago. Asking if anyone was going to DC for the tour opener or to Shoreline. Wanting to meet up. Free streams for Twiddle and Pigeons, and so there's a lot of really
Wow.
fun, different, cool things going on here that I have
Get
personally
involved.
I've neglected to see. But this is cute. So
r// No Simple Road. And if you want to come hang out with us and you're not going to String Summit or Summer Meltdown, come to the Goodfoot on
Ooh,
Wednesday
yeah,
night.
guys.
Wednesday.
Our brothers, the Higgs, are going to be playing. We're going to be out in style with our friends,
Absolutely.
hanging out, listening to some amazing music by the Higgs, and supporting our family. So if you guys are in the Portland area and you want to come out and see a good Wednesday night show, come to the
Come to the
Goodfoot and hang out,
Goodfoot.
man.
Goodfoot is
Yep.
cool.
So we have anything left, family?
Gosh, I mean, we could always talk forever, but I think that that's really what's going on this week. We got rid of our funky
is.
attitudes. We're having fun with cookies. We're having fun with Greg, and it's all good. Come see us at the festivals that we just mentioned, and come hang out and play.
Yep.
I
Come to
couldn't have said-
Hornings.
Yeah.
Come see us.
Make sure you go see Pigeons, because if you haven't, you're in for a treat.
Well, and that's what I was going to mention too. These guys are killing it. They stay very busy. They just played Terrapin. They were at High Sierra. Now they're going to be at Northwest String Summit. Then they go back to Pennsylvania for the Peach Festival, and then they come back up here to Darrington for Summer Meltdown, and then they continue on all over the
Jesus.
country. They are very busy.
Yep. So
and very fun.
we have a good example of how to do it right.
Yeah.
That's what Greg gave us, and he gave me some personal advice, and I
He was
appreciate
very
it.
sweet, like very tuned into what's going on in his life.
And I want to get him a pin made and send it to him. This is 110%.
Oh my gosh, we had really we had
Yeah,
a little bit of
you
fun
guys
with
will
this,
like
you
this.
guys.
So-
This is very fun.
Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Kevin from Thinsters first for about 10 minutes, and then an amazing interview with Greg Ormont from Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. Kevin, you good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right, we're all set. Good morning, my friend. This is Aaron. How you doing, man?
Hey, Aaron, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, and I will let the others introduce themselves.
Hey, sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I have chores I have to do. But this is Melanie. Thanks for coming to the porch.
Hey, Melanie.
Yeah.
And then
Sure thing.
And then you got Apple over here. Welcome to the porch, man. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to be here. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Excellent.
How's your Saturday morning going?
Oh, it's really good. Really good. I got up early and actually played a little bit of music, and then I watched a little tennis, and
Nice.
I'm just enjoying a beautiful day.
Sounds good. Did you have cookies for breakfast?
I have cookies every day for breakfast. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Where are you at, Kevin? We're in the country.
I'm in New York City.
Oh, right on.
New York.
Right on.
Yeah.
You said tennis. Is Wimbledon still going on?
Yeah, the women's final was this morning, and then the men's Wimbledon finals tomorrow.
Okay.
So Kevin, welcome to the porch, and you have a very unique reason that you're here with us. Like normally we're talking to musicians and authors and artists and stuff, but you are the man behind Thinster's Cookies, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it your baby?
It's my baby along with 3 other people. So I can't, I'm not taking all the credit, but there's a group of us who got together and started the company and the brand a little over 2 years ago.
What was the genesis of that? How did that happen between the 3 of you?
Well, it's not your typical founder's story where, we started out in our garage making samples kind of things. We've all actually been working in the food industry for a collective 40 plus years.
Oh, wow.
We've worked at big companies like PepsiCo, and I worked at Kind Bar, and people worked at General Mills and Hain Celestia and all these different companies. And we end up knowing each other and getting connected over the years. And finally, we kind of just decided, why don't we make our own, and we actually make something that we love that's healthier, that's better for people, instead of pushing these brands like Oreos and Pepsi and Frosted Flakes. So we got together and we started Thinsters. It's our first of 2 ventures. And we wanted to make we looked at the category of cookies, and we were like, it is dominated by Oreo and Chips Ahoy. They actually own like 80% of the cookies sold at the grocery store, those 2 brands. And they're full of hydrogenated oil, corn syrup, all processed, artificial ingredients, artificial flavor.
Huh.
Wow.
That's crazy. All right.
Now
we're not going to have any problems. We're using Apple's phone. Everything's cool.
Apple's Apple phone.
Sorry about that. So,
Awesome.
Kevin, I was just saying before you called back, like, it's kind of it's unbelievable to me that those 2 companies own 80% of, or hold 80% of the market, man. Like
it's actually one company. They're the same company, and they actually own the 3rd biggest brand as well. They own Tate's, and they own all of Nabisco. So actually, one company, this massive conglomerate, owns like 85% of all the cookie aisle in any grocery store.
Wow.
Yep.
So you guys are going like, it's like
No matter what you buy, you're feeding the
it's
beast.
David and Goliath.
Yeah, exactly. So we think there's room for a new guy out there. We hope so, at least. And then really, it's not just for us. We're hoping people choose our brands because we're a lot healthier and better ingredients.
So instead of like the the hydrogenated oils and all of that you were just mentioning, what is it that you guys are doing different in your recipe that's giving us that
Absolutely.
help?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. Well, it's not complicated. We make cookies the same way you make them in your own kitchen, with real butter. We use we use real cane sugar. We use real dark chocolate. We don't use any artificial flavoring, artificial colors, artificial preservatives, nothing like that. Literally in our facility, we have big ovens, and we bake dough, and we oven bake them just with real butter and real cane sugar like you would at home. So
it's
fun. What a concept, right?
It's
making cookies with real food. What?
Right, exactly. Like everyone's like, when I tell people that, they're like, "Wait a second, that's normal," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's just, we're actually doing it the way it should be done." So a lot of companies out there have tried to scale so fast and make so many cookies to feed all these people. And in order to do that, you have to use preservatives.
Yeah.
You have to use artificial ways to make things cheaper. But we're kind of not taking any shortcuts here.
That's so cool.
That's cool. So how are you guys, faring in those markets that are dominated by the other ones? How is your reception, or how are you been received so far?
Really well, really well. I can tell you, everyone who has ever picked us up and tried us has turned into a loyal consumer.
Right
So
on.
yeah, the biggest challenge is kind of getting out there at first, is getting noticed, getting picked up. But everyone who finds us and tries us is like, oh my God, like this is incredible. Like, I'm so happy I found you guys. So it's been really great.
So what kind of things have you done to promote yourselves, like since the inception?
Yeah, well, I know you guys are familiar with. Are you guys familiar with the Grateful Dead partnership?
Of course, yeah. That's
yeah,
one of the main reasons
that's how we're connected.
Let's talk
All
about
right,
that.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, there's a lot of things we've done. That's definitely the biggest. We started out really small in just some natural grocery stores
Okay.
in the Northeast, and then we slowly got into Sprouts on the West Coast.
Mhm.
Wow.
And now we've gotten into some convenience stores, and it's been a lot of organic word of mouth. People finding our cookies, talking to people about it on social media. But the biggest thing that's ever happened was this partnership with the Grateful Dead.
How did that happen?
Yeah. And who's who's the is it you? Or is it all three of you that are into the Dead?
That's me.
Okay.
That's me, actually. My dad grew up a Grateful Dead fan. I will never be as big of a fan as he is and was. But I grew up listening to their music and certainly appreciated what they did to music in their day and how it's lived on. And I grew up a musician, so I've been playing music since I was super young, since I was 3. And so I was trying to think of a partnership that Finsters could work together with, and I wasn't necessarily even thinking music. I was like, maybe we could partner with a movie, maybe we could look at theme parks or sports or something. And then I was like, I love music, and because it just like cookies, like bring people together and they're creative and they make people smile and they're happy. I think music does the same thing. It kind of crosses boundaries, brings people together. So I thought there was a lot of synergy there. It's not competitive like sports is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great. And so I was like, what is a platform that, and I kind of had my short list here that, it's relatable, it's relevant. And we wanted people to kind of like bridge gaps. People young and old like this platform. It's not like one of those bands that is hot today, but no one older knows who they are, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And then we thought about the Grateful Dead. I kind of heard that they were going on tour this summer, and I was like, wow, they're on tour, and John, like, that's so relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And John Mayer is their front man, who is doing an amazing job at representing their legacy while also bringing new, younger audiences to their shows.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they have values that they're super authentic. They're true to their roots, which is what we at Finsters try to do with our cookies. We want to make sure that we have authentic ingredients and we're true and transparent to our consumers about what we put in our cookies. So it was just an amazing fit. I got connected to the people over at Warner Music Group and kind of gave them the spiel. And sure enough, the Grateful Dead is trying to kind of do the same thing we are. They're trying to cater to a young audience.
Yeah.
They like kind of like my dad. He's almost 70. The Grateful Dead wants to live on for many generations to come. They don't want people to forget about them. They want to make sure that people in their 30s, their 20s, their teens are getting exposed to the Grateful Dead and their music and what they've done to the American culture. And so they were looking for brands like Finsters and like Burton Snowboards and like a couple clothing companies that cater towards a young, healthy demographic.
Yeah.
And so there was just a natural fit.
Wow.
And I mean,
so they
to
were
be
ready.
honest, they were ready. They were like, you can kind of help us bring the Grateful Dead to young people, and of course they can help us bring Finsters to Grateful Dead fans. So it was just a great fit where we're both super, like, work really well together. They love our cookies and we love their music. So it's been excellent. It's been a lot of
it
fun.
makes sense too. What's more Americana than the Grateful Dead
And chocolate chip cookies, yeah.
Well, I mean,
No,
it's
totally true.
You know,
It-
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
It's funny that you say like cookies and music
Yeah.
have a similarity. I never put those two things together, but now that you say it, I think to myself, like, if you're arguing with somebody and there's a plate of cookies in front of you, there's no way you're going to continue arguing. And the same thing with music. Like, if the Grateful Dead is playing in the background and you're having a conversation, it's going to be a nice conversation. So there is a huge
so
correlation. That's weird,
So
man.
true.
That's what they should have
there
at like
are
the
these-
Peace Summit, like cookies and Grateful Dead. Like, guys, quit arguing, man. Here,
I think if Finsters and the Grateful Dead were in more people's lives, we'd all be a little bit happier.
Yeah.
definitely.
I think. Yeah.
Once
So
once you start a
So it-
partnership like that, what happens? Like, so they say, yeah, let's do this. Like, what happens for you guys on your end?
yeah. So we talked to them about how can we help the Grateful Dead out, and how can you help spread the word about Finsters. And so they've done an amazing job talking about Finsters on their website, mentioning it in certain places in their tour, sending Finsters T-shirts to some of their fans. And then on our end, we branded limited edition Finsters bags. So right now, wherever Finsters are sold, you can find, if you look hard enough, you can find these limited edition Finsters bags that commemorate the Grateful Dead.
Oh, shit.
And so they have the Grateful Dead logo on the front, the dancing bear holding a cookie. And a really cool part is, which is so much fun. And then a really cool part is when you flip it over to the back, there's a beautifully written a couple paragraphs that commemorate the Grateful Dead, talk about their legacy, kind of inform people, because the Finsters have a really young client base and consumer base who don't know about the Grateful Dead. So we're making sure to use this situation to make sure that we inform people and educate people on what the Grateful Dead means to the U.S., means to America, means to music. And then there's a really fun social media giveaway where people who buy these Grateful Dead Finsters bags and post a photo on Instagram with the hashtag Grateful Finsters, we're giving away signed guitars, signed amps, T-shirts, bandanas, all this cool Grateful Dead memorabilia. So it's a huge, it's super neat.
That's
it's
fun,
It's a lot
man.
of fun.
How old is this partnership between you and the Dead?
It just kicked off last month.
What?
It just kicked off.
Wow.
And all
Congratulations.
these-
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and we can't believe it's finally here. I remember going to Walgreens about 2 weeks ago and seeing Grateful Dead Finsters on one of the shelves, and it was just like, oh my God.
What
it's
a proud
so cool.
dad moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like seeing a No Simple Road sticker on somebody's car driving around. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
Right.
Wow.
You're right. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
So what did your dad, I want to know what your dad thought
Yeah,
about all this, like
Oh,
growing up and raising you with that kind of music, and then here you are in your
guess
love.
what, Dad? I got some
Yeah.
Grateful Dead cookies for you.
he can't believe it, and even more, I actually had him help write the message on the back
Oh,
of the bag.
wow. Wow.
Yeah, so he and I did it with a couple other people together, and it was a really fun kind of father-son bonding thing, and something that he now has a bag kind of at home, and it's pretty special.
It's
So
super
it's
special.
pretty cool.
So, I mean, at least in my opinion, like when I think about what is our show about, our show is about family. That's my first thought. And I love to hear when we interview whatever musicians, a lot of times I'll ask them about their parents and like, are they proud? And because, as adults, we grow up, but we're still little kids inside. We really are. Like, we don't feel like 50 years old in our head.
No.
We can still relate to like a cute, like younger person or having fun with a kickball or whatever. And I love that about what you're doing with your company, getting your dad involved and going off of something that you are familiar with from childhood and coming back to grassroots, like real butter and real sugar, and like
so novel.
Yeah, it's very novel, but it's like ahead of the time that we're living in right now, which is so strange to me. Like, right?
I exactly. I mean, if we almost forgot where we were coming from for a couple of decades there. We let big conglomerate companies sort of direct us rather than us making decisions, and that changed. And the Grateful Dead are a great example when they said we want to play music differently, we want to experiment, we want to improvise, and I think the food industry is starting to recognize that and do the same.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a huge industry that definitely needs a lot of reconstruction, I'll say.
You know what's funny about all this is that when you and I started corresponding, I had seen Thinsters a couple of times in the stores prior. Every single time since we've talked, I've seen Thinsters in the store.
Really?
It's like when you buy a Jeep and you start seeing Jeeps all over the place. Like every time I've gone, it's weird. Like, and I've been keeping my eye out for the bears dancing on the cookie package. And is it like in major chain grocery stores across the country right now, or is it just like certain spots?
No, we're all across the country. You can go to Target, you can go to Sprouts, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to Kroger, any Safeway or Albertsons. And then, of course, you can just if you go to thinsters.com and you click on retailers or where to buy, you can just type in your zip code and find the closest store to you.
Okay. All right.
So I can't guarantee. We only made a select number of these limited edition bags, but we made absolutely positive that they're going to at least hit every grocery store once or twice.
Oh wow!
So there's a pretty good chance that in the next, throughout the rest of July, early August, you should be able to find something for sure.
Okay, and what's the hashtag again? When you buy the bag, go and take a picture of it and throw it up on Instagram.
It's Grateful Thinsters.
Okay.
So we're grateful for the partnership. So it's hashtag Grateful Thinsters, and we're picking 2 people every week that we're going to be giving all this Grateful Dead memorabilia to. So
wow, we got
be
to
on the
find some
lookout.
cookies.
Yeah, that's on the agenda today.
Well, I'm super.
Please do.
I'm super excited because I looked and one of the flavors is coconut. And that's like my favorite.
That's apple's jam right there.
It's so good, and we've got awesome flavors. We didn't want just your typical chocolate. We wanted some citrusy and kind of really interesting flavors: toasted coconut, key lime, brownie batter, vanilla, Meyer lemon. So we have over 7 flavors. It's pretty fun.
And all the flavors have the branded bag?
Only our toasted coconut and our chocolate chip.
Okay.
Got the branded bag.
All right. All right, man. Kevin, I appreciate you coming on the porch with us, man. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see the bag in person and taste these cookies, brother.
Thank you so much, guys. It really means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
We love getting the word out about grassroots, family oriented things, and we totally appreciate you guys reaching out, and can't wait to taste those cookies and do our hashtags just to promote.
Go have a wonderful Saturday, my friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
Bye.
So, okay, listen. Here's the thing. We're not going to listen, Linda, honey.
We're not going to debate.
We're not going to discuss. No, I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that.
We do have cartridges at work that are when you add the numbers up, they add up to 106%.
Fuck. All right, hang on.
Customers question that too.
I really don't care what the math says. There's no such thing. What do you think, Mel? Weigh in on the 110%, will you?
I think that in certain occasions, 110% is absolutely appropriate.
Wow.
I
to describe the amount of effort.
And that's what I was going to say. It's like a saying. It's not necessarily mathematically possible. It's a saying. Like I went that extra mile.
Okay.
I did extra credit.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to call Greg, and we're going to ask Greg what he thinks about 110%.
We're going to go the extra mile.
All right.
Yep. This is it. It's our theme. We're going to try to get him to say it at least twice.
I would say he goes at 110.
Hello.
Greg,
Hey, what's up, man?
what's happening, man? This is Aaron. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the porch.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah. So I'm going to let everybody, the whole crew, introduce themselves to you here.
Greg, what's up? This is Mel. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mel?
I'm
What's cracking?
good, man. You know what I've been doing all day? Listening to
What?
pigeons. Just
wow.
saying, the
Doing-
fun and fun
doing your
today. Well, I was actually dancing with Mom in the kitchen, cooking dinner.
Wow.
So she was jamming. I almost took a video, but it was a private moment.
You really should have taken
It was a
video
private
of it.
moment, but I wanted to tell you about it first, right off the bat, because that's how it set the mood for the conversation. So, welcome
Oh,
to the
man.
porch, my friend.
That's awesome.
And this is Apple. Thank you for joining us on the porch, Greg. It's an honor.
Yeah, Apple, did you listen to our music with your dad this afternoon?
No, unfortunately, my dad is back in Las Vegas, so yeah,
Oh, okay.
no.
That would be weird.
My dad would dig it though.
Yeah, you would. And your turn, Ryder.
And this is Ryder.
And that's
Sorry, I lost you for about 5 seconds, but we're back.
This is Ryder.
Hey, Ryder. I know you.
Hey. Well,
All right.
shit, man. So, Greg, we want to know what you think about giving 110%.
Well, and also, we need you to introduce yourself and tell us who you are for our listeners.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm Greg, singer and guitarist of Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, and I'm a huge fan of giving 110%.
Oh!
Yes, thank you, Greg.
We were just having a conversation before we called you, and I am of the mind that mathematically it's impossible to fucking give 110%, man. It just doesn't exist.
But, okay, let me interject. We saw you guys up here last year, and we saw Andy Frasco and the UN opening for you. I would say you and your whole band, and Andy and his whole band, are the definition of giving it 110%.
Yeah, I got to agree.
Oh, man. Well, I can definitely tell you that Frasco gives it maybe 111.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I love that guy. He's such a crazy
He's
man.
easy to love.
We keep in touch all the time. I just, occasionally just text him thinking about him. I don't know why. He's an intoxicating human.
That's weird.
Really
I
is.
just did that today, Greg. No bullshit. Just out of the
Texted
blue.
Frasco?
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we have a special relationship, but I have a feeling that a lot of people just text him out of the blue.
Well, the guest
Thinking
that we
about
had
the
on
cloud.
last weekend is one that does that as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's a lot of people in Frasco's life that are rooting for him. He's a special man.
Yeah, he is. And I think, a lot of that comes from the 110% mindset. Like he clearly pours himself into every moment of life, not even just on stage, but hanging with him on the tour that we did together. He's really just like, he's here in the now. He's a good embodiment of living now and going after your goals and not taking yourself too seriously all the time, but when the time is right to buckle down and put the work in too. And I like to consider him like the epitome of controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
totally.
a great
Really.
way to put him. Yeah.
You guys were the perfect mix.
Yes.
Seeing you guys together was
Yes.
the perfect mix. It was
It
really
a
awesome.
special tour, man. Thanks so much. I mean, we when we were talking about having Frasco join us on tour, I mean, I don't know if all four of you have seen him play live, but
Yeah, we have.
he kind of goes nuts, and it's not uncommon for him to pour like beer on his head or
Yeah.
spray the crowd with whiskey. So when we were just talking about the logistics of having them play with us, we were talking like, should we get some tarps and like put up like protection around our gear, because I love him, but to follow him is be a sticky floor on the stage.
Fuck up my
But-
shit, man.
Yeah. But again, I mean, it's controlled chaos. He really he lets it rip, and he is a very off the cuff guy, but he was aware of our gear and what we normally do, and just a hell of a player. I love watching him perform.
Yeah. Ditto.
Yeah. You guys, man, it was the first time that we had seen you as a crew, and you collectively blew our minds,
Yeah.
Greg.
Oh, wow. Thanks so much.
Yeah, dude.
We danced so hard. We walked
Yeah.
out of there like a sweaty mess.
It was disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sweat so much during our shows that it's my justification for almost never exercising.
Well, yeah, you can't call what you do not exercising, man. That is some
Fuck,
kind
dude,
of
yeah.
fucking show you put on for reals.
Thank you. I mean, we also kind of live by the concept of if you're going to do it, like go full speed and don't have any reservations and kind of have no regrets after the show. And not every show goes perfectly from a musical standpoint, just because it's so off the cuff and a lot of improvising. But we like to remind ourselves of just the overall energy that we felt. And I mean, whether it's a smaller show or a bigger show, we love every minute of it. We really do.
Well,
We're
isn't that what it's all?
grateful for
Yeah,
it.
I mean, isn't that what it's all about too? Is like having that moment and letting it stretch out so that you're having that experience on stage over and over again. Like that's the fun, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, we've played some of our songs, hundreds of times, but every time is different. And, it's kind of cool, like, after the show, like, hey, that was a pretty good FU or whatever songs that, we took out into a jam that felt cool. And, some of them don't go so great. But, I mean, we like to, like I said, live in the moment and let the crowd kind of dictate our energy. And as long as we're, like, smiling and having a great time, you generally feel pretty good after each show.
Yeah, it seems like that's like at the heart of what Pigeons Playing Ping Pong is all about, is fun. Like when I've heard a few interviews with you and read some stuff, kind of boning up to talk to you, and that's the one thing that stuck out to me about you is that you're really like following fun wherever it's going to take you. Am I pretty on the nose with that?
Oh, you're dead on. I mean, like you said, we put the fun in funk.
Yeah.
We put the fun in other stuff too. Fun tips, fundamentals. But,
That's a good one too. Yeah.
no, we put the mental in fundamentals. maybe we put both. It's a 2-part cocktail.
Wow.
Always goes down smooth.
It's been
well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
But
man.
we really enjoy what we do, and it started in college as like a super casual hang kind of, let's not go to class and jam kind of approach. And although most of us graduated, so but
well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, you're really using that comm degree. But but yeah, I mean, we're just so we're kind of floored that of the following we've been able to garner, and don't take it lightly. We want it to last, and we want it to grow, and we want to enjoy it while it's happening. And so far, so good.
I mean, does it trip you out, man? Like, I know you're a Fish fan too, and
Huge Fish fan.
And I grew up listening to the Dead, and you see people following the Dead and Fish from show to show, and then now you are the dude that people are fucking following from place to place. I mean, does it the surreality of that like impress itself upon you daily?
Oh man, well, I'd like to think that I am one of the dudes in the band who the people are coming around to see, and
Right.
we have been seeing a lot of people in the first few rows touring with us regularly. I mean, right now we're in summer mode, so we're jumping to different regions, doing festivals here and there. But in the fall, I mean, you start to see the same faces up front, and it is very surreal. It's also like the right type of pressure that I look for in my life. Like, I don't want to let these people down. So when we have off time, and instead of just like hanging out, we're always practicing. We're always, we all four of us still live in the same town. We live in Baltimore currently, and we practice as much as we can. And we're constantly writing new music and sending each other song ideas. And really, those followers that are touring with us really encourages us to keep our foot on the pedal,
that's
like,
cool.
it really is. And, it's also fun when you start to kind of develop relationships with fans that some of them I haven't met, but like, I know they've seen us play certain songs or certain jams. And when something feels kind of special, I like to look over at the people who are more like veterans of our our music
Aw.
and see if they also think that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Is this
Like,
transferring to them too?
Yeah, like I've shared a couple like stank face nods with a few fans up front. Like, yeah,
Okay,
this is
cool.
pretty sweet, right?
that little wink and
All
nod, like,
right.
hey, hey.
So it's not
this is a
your
good one.
imagination out there. If you have winked at somebody, it's not your imagination.
Oh no, people are always like, how am I going to know if you see me in the crowd? And I like to think that you'll know. If
yeah.
a lot of my faces that come out of my face, I suppose, are just
Expressions.
really off the cuff and letting my energy flow, and it's where I feel most comfortable. It's really like my happy place is performing and playing, and but there is some control to my face. Sometimes if I see like someone I haven't seen in a long time, I'll give them like a little double head nod, and they're like, "Yeah, I couldn't tell if you were nodding." I'm like, "Of course, I was looking right at you." We were looking at each other.
It's got to be. It's a trip though to like. You've switched positions, like watching the bands play, and then now you're the guys doing it, like, and playing Red Rocks and all the success that you guys have had. Like, it's, I think for you, your band especially, it's hard work that's paying off. You guys, so many shows every year, and just constant writing, and it's insane.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, who isn't working really hard, right? I mean, and to do what you love, whether it's in music or anything else, especially anyone who's kind of like started their own business, which is essentially what we have on our hands. Like,
right.
Your brain never turns off for it. I mean, you don't have, people hate the 9 to 5, or a lot of people do. But what they don't quite realize or appreciate is that once 5 o'clock hits and you just start pounding it to the pavement and get out of there, like, you're free from your job. You're not thinking about it. It's just your personal life until that next 9 o'clock rolls around. And by no means am I complaining at all.
No.
In our situation, like it never stops. I mean, it can be 4 a.m, and whether it's a song idea or even a merch idea or a good idea to post on social media, like you get up and you jot it down or you work on it. It's just something that we kind of live and breathe, and we're like incredibly grateful and stoked to do it. But it definitely, all these bands that, garner fans and have a sustainable fan base, it does not happen overnight. I mean, this is not a 3-year kind of journey. We've been playing from casual to professional for like 12 years or something, like almost, and it definitely takes time, but I mean, similarly, like life is about the ride, and it's not about the final destination. So we really just try to like soak in every moment, and when we have the opportunity to play or record or do anything or have a podcast, we'll really give it our all, give us that 110% and enjoy it.
I gotta ask you, man, because this is like a personal question from me to you. Like, I'm dealing with that same thing right now. Like, the similarities between a band and the show are many, and it's growing, and
well, good for you guys. It's awesome.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
And that thing with like, where you're talking about when you leave your job at the end of the day, you can shut it off, but when you have your own thing, you can't, right? How do you this is like seriously just from me to you, like, how do you balance the personal life and the business thing, like the work part of it? Because for me, man, I'm like, what I've come up against is the plate seems so fucking full that you feel that pressure, and you just mentioned it, like it's that good pressure that makes you stretch and takes you out of your comfort zone. But how do you balance that with your personal life?
That's a great question. I'm not sure if you ever do, but I mean, I like kind of, my wife and I have a great communication. I got married in the last year.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you very much, which is a feat unto itself. And, we were dating for 5 years, and when we first started dating, I was still playing about 200 shows a year.
Oh my gosh!
And that doesn't include like travel days. You know, the Sundays you're driving home. So I mean, I was gone 2/3 out of the year.
That's
and
a tolerant woman.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, she's also very independent, and she does her own thing, and she has her own passions. But I kind of, you know, when it started to get serious with her, because I'm not worried about I don't really get a personal life. I just like to keep my relationships happy.
Right.
You know, so when I am home and I'm not physically working on the band, I try to give her in my home life 110%, just like I do on stage. Because it's only fair, especially I like to always remind myself of the general sacrifice that a spouse has with this life. I mean, I am gone half the year at best, which means I can only be there half the year. And when I am there, I'm there. You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, she might think otherwise when sometimes I have to run away to take a call in the middle of something. But I like to, you know, I don't know. I just make a conscious, concerted effort to give her as much energy as I do with my, you know, professional endeavors, just because I respect what she sacrifices with me being gone all the time. And I mean, it also comes naturally to me. I'm a bit of a family man. I had great parents who raised me to, you know, appreciate family. You know, name drop, Andy and Barbara.
Oh, Andy and Barbara.
Andy and Barbara.
Oh my gosh, I love you
Have you
too.
met them?
No, I haven't. I can't wait to.
If you see my dad, you'll recognize him right away.
Really?
We look a lot alike. He has way less hair, but but yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like I don't want to kind of group it in like the same way as like working hard, but I make a conscious effort to try to achieve that balance. What I don't really do is kind of set time aside for myself. But I feel like I have enough to be grateful for and to focus on where I don't. You think you want that, but as soon as you have some downtime, I don't know. I get bored. Like I just really realized and accepted that I'm a bit of a workpholic.
Yeah, I get that. You know? I totally get that, man. Yeah.
Because in college, I was not. I definitely spent many days watching many movies in my, you know, in my younger years. But now, I don't know. I mean, life's about the now, and whether you're working on your business or working on your regular job or with your wife or your family, it's important to just focus your energies there and try not to spread yourself too thin.
Right.
And if you have things that are spreading you too thin, you know, I mean, it's important to kind of like analyze what makes you happiest, what pays the bills, what, you know, keeps everyone happy around you, and maybe trim the fat a little bit. Because I also, you know, have learnned from kind of stretching myself way too thin. That even kind of harkens back to like when we had our last regular jobs. I mean, when we were just out of college, we were touring either Thursday or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just kind of weekend warriors.
Right.
We would go back to our regular jobs, and man, I was much worse at my regular job than I was at performing.
Yeah.
I definitely came back, you know, burnt and chewed up, and did that for a number of years until I finally got fired, which is honestly like almost a badge of honor at this point. You know, no one wants to be fired, but when you're like pursuing your dream so hard that you can't do the bullshit job that you signed up for, then that was the last straw to
it pushed you into
the universe made the fucking decision for you.
I don't have to quit now. Yeah. They fired me.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, that's I kind of shape it that way in my own mind, just to make myself feel better for getting fired.
Makes sense.
But who wants Scrambled Greg refinancing their mortgages anyway? not me.
Dude.
You know, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He could set you up, Ryder, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Man.
I think one of the things that you said there that hits home for me is about the finding time for yourself thing. You're like, I don't do that. But it seems like to me, when you're doing what you're passionate about, that the thing that you're passionate about is the time for yourself.
Yeah, that is your
You know, when you're playing on stage, that is you doing your thing.
Your family's
I mean, yeah, no, I agree. And don't know. I've recently been playing with the concept of, focusing on oneself. It just seems selfish to me, but at some point, like the adage, like, if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of the people around you, kind of thing. And I don't know. I feel like I've been doing pretty good with not taking incredible care of myself or taking care of the people around me. Like I'm hanging in there. But I don't know. I mean, I just, mental health is important. And the amount of joy I get from playing live is incredible. And then when you're not playing live and you're not having, screaming fans, getting excited, it's important to keep those spirits up as well. And I invest myself in the home life and try not to, become a crackhead, who's still chasing the high of the live experience, Well,
it's about balance. It's totally about balance.
Big Amy Winehouse fan, and I know she would get off stage and be all jazzed up and would want to keep that adrenaline going and turn to all sorts of horrible shit.
Yeah, totally.
And so I also try to learn from our elders and those who came and went, and try to avoid those mistakes and keep a realistic head on the shoulders.
It's very smart of you.
People are excited to see us, but if the band didn't exist, I'm sure they'd find a band to be super excited about.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mayer, man. You watch him on Instagram, and the day after Dead and Company tour is over, he's like, "I'm fucking bored. I don't know what to do with myself."
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's good to, if you can find that creative outlet to write and to kind of, it's almost like you're with the fans when you're pushing yourself to write more music and looking toward the next, event. And I'm sure Mayer has no issues with that. I know he probably gets bored, but he can crank out. I mean, he's the kind of guy who will play guitar for 6 hours straight. I wish I had that kind of inherent passion for playing guitar. I think my bread and butter is really performing on stage and being a goofball. And, so I kind of try to force myself to play guitar more and continue to get better and take it seriously.
What was it about musical theater and performing that you liked so much when you were younger, man?
And you did do a little research, huh?
Yeah, I did.
You did. You haven't asked me about where do we get the band name from yet.
I'm not gonna do. I don't. No, not gonna happen.
Aaron, this is going great. I caught the theater bug early. I don't know if they make every kindergartner be in the kindergarten circus. I don't know if that's a national thing.
Theater is the shit. It really is.
I also, so I was the little doggy in the window when I was 5 years old.
Oh, my God.
My lines were Arfar.
Star Girl.
Yeah. And I just loved, seeing, my family proud and seeing my friends and the people I was looking at smiling and laughing. Granted, I was 5 years old, so this is the memory I've kind of conjured up.
Your cute little self being proud. Oh my gosh, I love it.
It was also kind of a bit of fate. My best friend, who was one of my best men at my wedding alongside our guitarist Jeremy, I met him in first grade and when I was about 6 years old, and his mother was the director of a lot of school plays. So that was their world. And basically mommy number two was the, theater stuff. And I, since I hung with her son, I always did the plays. But I also played sports. I played soccer from 5 to 17. I played basketball and lacrosse and stuff. So, I did a lot of plays. I played a lot of sports, and then around my junior year of high school, I decided to play less soccer, and I would do 2 musicals a year just because I excelled a little more there. And it's a fun challenge. Being in a play is nothing like what I do now.
It's a rush.
But it prepared me tenfold. I mean, even just the preparation of it all. I mean, when you're in a school play every day after school, the 9 to 5, instead of going home and turning it off, I'm straight into the auditorium and doing rehearsals for a couple hours. And it taught me, I memorized lines, but it also taught me the importance of having a line and delivering it in a way that your teammates can work off of kind of an expectant way. So it also showed me how to share the stage, because not everything's about you all the time. So, sometimes you get the spotlight and other times someone on your team gets the spotlight, and it's important for you to also, create body language that highlights them in those moments. I also kind of think about soccer a lot in that sense too, because it's 11 people sharing the field with one ball, like one spotlight.
Whoa.
And if you don't like run away from the ball at times, then there will be no room for your teammates.
Wow.
So I like to kind of look at the stage sometimes as like a whiteboard for like a basketball game or like a soccer game, and make sure that we're all sharing the space. I also, and when I was in a regular old play, not a musical, but I was in Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew when I was probably 10 years old.
What?
And I had this big monologue, and I forgot my line.
Oh shit.
So I just froze on stage for maybe 10 full seconds, which
is a long time. That's a long time.
In the theater world, that's a lifetime. I'm still on stage right now.
Yeah.
You know, like, and like, you know, I had that huge rush of fear, and I never could remember the opening line to that monologue. So after a lifetime of 10 seconds, I just started in the middle and kind of worked my way back around and closed it out and survived.
Yeah.
And, you know, that experience, you know, is kind of like Fight Club, where they're like, you know, as soon as you don't realize, like, you know, you feel like you're made of glass until you get punched in the face. And then when you survive it, you realize you can kind of take some hits. And, you know, I think that was a big experience for me too, because it kind of gave me a little bit less fear overall at a very young age. So
Right.
the stage is really kind of like my comfort zone, as long as I know what I'm doing. You know, if I have a little preparation in there, you know, and, you know, again, learning from a musical theater standpoint to prepare, I mean, as long as you prepare and you do a dress rehearsal, and if it doesn't go well, you do another one until you're ready.
Until you got it.
Then once the show is happening, you have a lot less to worry about, because
You can let
know
go.
you're prepared. You know your teammates are prepared, and you trust them. They've done their homework, you've done yours, and you can just let it rip.
It
And
sounds
that's
like
where the crazy faces come out.
it sounds like it kind of taught you, sort of, in a weird way, how to improvise too, because giving that space.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that monologue was not to the T. I mean, I started in the middle, and then I kind of bullshitted my way around to the top, and then through the ends, and you know what? I didn't get any hate mail over it. You know, I mean, it worked out just fine. So I think, you know, forgetting your lines is a great life experience. I also think being a waiter is great life experience. Oddly enough,
Yeah.
I used to wait tables, and it kind of forces you to be public and smile in front of strangers, and, you know, win them over one way or the other. And I don't know. I mean, I like to hope that everything led me to where I'm at now. And I guess, yeah, I mean, as long as you're working hard at it, and, you know, again, forgetting my lines really taught me the power of smiling through issues.
Shit. Yeah, that's
especially
huge.
on stage. And like, we've kind of a mantra for us, like, if shit's hitting the fan, like, you gotta keep while shit is going wrong, be aware of what your body and face is doing, because if you show signs of like fear and stress, it immediately translates into the crowd.
It changes the energy in the room. It totally does. You can feel it.
It's just like if you're in line at like a restaurant or like a countertop restaurant, and there's a really long line and the chefs are working really fast. If they're all stressed out and barking at each other, like, we got a line here, like, the whole line is freaking out and stressed out.
Right.
They feel it. But if the chefs are like smiling as if nothing's wrong, even though you're waiting 20 minutes for like a turkey sandwich, like, for some reason, all is fine.
It's all good.
Just
Yeah.
takes a while here.
That's gonna be a good turkey sandwich. They're happy.
Slow service, man. Like, they have no issues. So, I mean, I think the theater thing, like, is a lot about energy. It's a lot about teamwork, and I'm very grateful for having done it. It didn't make me the coolest kid in school at certain times when you're doing musicals in middle school while all your friends are playing sports. You know, it's not the best look at, you know, when you're a insecure preteen.
Right.
But I think it was a huge, it's given me a huge advantage, and it just made me really genuinely comfortable on stage, which I know not a lot of people have that luxury.
I think you got the last laugh too, brother.
Well, I learned too because our daughter, she is in, in the entertainment business, and she went to a middle school and a high school that was a magnet for the arts. And so she grew up around very creative kids her entire school career. And there's something about theater specifically that makes you like fearless, because if you can get up in front of people and have the courage to like smile through those forgotten lines, or catch yourself through the dance routine that you totally screwed up or whatever, and still keep going and like recover gracefully.
That's it.
And
right there.
that, yeah, like it trains you for that. And so everything that you do in your life, whether it's hard or not, it's like you're okay with doing it because everything is live. Like
life is live. Yeah,
yeah, life is live.
We got the title of our podcast.
But
Life
you
is
know
live
what?
with
That's
Greg Ormont.
There it
that's
is.
what you are. You're freaking live, Greg. Like even tonight, seriously, when my mom and I were cooking, I was like, "Mom, we have a interview tonight," and she's like, "Oh, okay. Who are you doing?" So I put you on in the kitchen, and I looked you up, and I showed her a picture of you, and every single picture I found of you was with your eyes like bulging out, your grin ear to ear, or your tongue sticking out, your hair in motion. And she looked at you and she was like, he looks fun. And I was like, he is. And then your song comes on, and so it's just so cool how electric you are, and how I like listening to the roots and where you came from, because that's, those types of things when you are little, when you have young kids, putting them in soccer, in lacrosse, in theater, in art, whatever it is, it really helps to shape like more of a confident a human being.
Oh yeah, I agree, and that's awesome about your daughter. I mean, I really think that the life lessons I learned from being part of like an ensemble, and then choosing your moments to shine, whether it's whether you have a song or not, and again, like you said, if you're having a dance number and you trip and fall, I mean, there's a lot of ways to go about that. That's the fork in the road, and I like to go with the stand up and like stick the landing like an Olympian, like arms up, smiling, and kind of. Laugh it off, and then it can become, those blunders can become a highlight.
Totally.
And that's also really important to learn.
How to transform hard.
Still to maintain your grace and humility and everything through failure. That's
very
important.
Where would the Grateful Dead be without
there is some
rolling with the punches?
Epic fucking train wrecks, man. And you know what? As a fan, when you see those train wrecks happen live, it's beautiful, because you're they're fucking human.
Exactly. That's why, so we're huge Fish fans, or my guitarist and I are huge Fish fans, and the band likes it. Not everyone's, as big of a Fish head as we are. Some of us are big fans of Humphreys McGee, who have, they have way less of those moments because they're so polished and talented.
Yeah,
they clearly work
crazy.
their asses off. But I remember, like, some of my fondest Fish memories, although frustrating, was when Trey just fucked up, like just messed up bad. I remember when we first started getting into Fish, I saw them like 10 times in the summer, really going after it, really enveloping the scene and getting used to it all. And there was the song Stash that every time I saw him, Trey would mess up this line. And I'm like, dude, just go home and learn the line, man. It's like every time. But there was one particular Stash train wreck where he was messing up the line so bad that he just put his arms at his side, stopped playing guitar during it, and started laughing. And the crowd went nuts.
See?
The crowd loved it. And then again, I would love to have heard the line, but he like just communicated with his body like that.
He was like, "Okay,
right,
Greg, I heard you."
Okay. Yeah, this isn't going well. Might as well laugh this one off. And that's one of my fondest, funniest memories of the 30 plus shows I've seen, is just that time that Trey was fucking up so bad that he just put his arms down and laughed.
That's funny.
I didn't realize that it would teach me so much. But you gotta, like I said, when shit is going wrong, you got to be aware of what your body's doing, because it can either like spiral out of control or be one of a fan's, favorite memories.
And that's the thing that's funny about this community is there's no other music I know of where people like there's massive train wreck shows, and that's like a badge of honor to be at that show, just like the ones that kill it.
Coventry.
It's like oh yeah, I was at that show where they blew it, man. It was epic.
Yeah, well, it's helpful it's easier to call it epic when they have like a triumphant recovery and get clean and come back healthier and stronger than ever. That makes it a little more epic.
Yeah,
but it's definitely like never miss a show kind of vibe, and that's the beauty. You're right, it's the beauty of the scene. I mean, you just don't know what's going to go wrong or right. And, as long as the band's enjoying themselves, and I mean, we take ourselves very seriously off stage, and really practice as much as we can, both individually and as a group. Like I said, we're always writing, but once you're up there in front of people, you can't take yourself that seriously, because when the issues do occur, like, I mean, you have to have the perspective in an instant to realize like how incredible this is. Look how many people came out to our show. They know the lyrics. They know I messed up the lyrics. And that's like a great place, situation to be in.
Hell yeah.
There was a time when no one would know if we made any mistakes, but now we have like some pretty religious flockers out there.
Fuck yeah.
Are waiting to do like the clapping along or whatever, like, moments they're expecting. I mean, when we were first starting out, back when absolutely no one knew who we were, there were a lot of like songs we would debut and I wouldn't have set lyrics to them yet. So I would just make them up on the fly. Hopefully they rhymed, but at least like, maybe some verses. Like sometimes I would have a first verse and a chorus, but maybe not a second and third. So I would just kind of sort of freestyle it. And now I really don't have that luxury anymore.
Yeah, you couldn't pull that shit now.
And everyone's got their phones out. And I mean, there was we recently added a new part to an old song. It's actually a song that we improvised live, the bones of it, years ago. And we have since fleshed it out to be a little more, sophisticated than a live jam.
Mm-hmm.
And we added a part, and I had these lyrics that I was writing or fooling around with that night. And I wrote them, and I was happy about them, which is rare. And and sure enough, I kind of jumbled a few of the lines, and I was like, whatever. And then the next day, I saw a review of the show, and they quoted the 4 new lines that I sang wrong. So now, like, it was human error. I had barely written them. I switched the end of line 2 with the end of line 4. Well, no, fuck that. No, fortunately, the jam scene is, while they are meticulous, they will realize over time if I change it. I'm not locked in. It wasn't, on live television. Right. But it was interesting. I was like, damn, I really need to like sing my lyrics right now. I mean, I remember the days in college where like it really did not matter. But now there's, they're analyzing, which again, if you take a step backwards, it's in great perspective to have. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to have people.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Greg.
That you're saying anything. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when you guys came up with Frasco, that wasn't your first time up here in Portland, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not the best band historian, but I believe we've been there before. I think we promised him a crowd.
You guys sold out the Wonder Ballroom that night. That was fucking badass, man.
It was awesome. I think I can't remember if that was there a little like virtuoso keyboardist who sat in that night, or was that in California?
I think that wasn't here. Yeah, I would remember that.
I just saw him at High Sierra. I was like, is that Taz? No, that's another virtuoso with curly hair.
You're coming back up this way in next week, right?
Yeah, so we're doing Strum It, Northwest String Summit.
Yeah.
We're going to be there.
We are the official podcast
really?
of Northwest String Summit.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to say hi in person.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, man. Give you a hug and a high five.
Yeah, that venue is 20 minutes from our house.
Oh, wow. I mean, I've heard about Horning's Hideout for years.
Greg.
Really?
I mean, String Cheese made it really popular with some of their live albums and or live records that I've ended up with.
I'll when we get off the phone, I'll text you a couple pictures. We went out
beautiful.
there, not last weekend, but the weekend before, and it's just like this giant woodland park with a lake, and it's fucking awesome, man. It's
I've seen
really
a couple
special.
pictures. I'm actually not a big pictures before you play guy. I like to.
Okay,
you know,
I won't send you shit.
You can send me some pictures.
It won't.
Okay.
Do,
Like
it doesn't
that.
do it justice.
Like,
Peacock.
well, I've heard that the peacocks are actually rather ornery.
They
And
are.
They're not really. They're a bit dinosaurish.
And then
They
we're
are.
also we're following you around, I guess, a little
Yeah.
bit because we're going to be at
Summer
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 Meltdown.
Meltdown too. We're going to follow you up there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, up in Washington.
Yeah.
We haven't played that one yet, but it seems like it's going to be quite a party. Like all their marketing has party written all over it.
Dude,
so
floating in a
we're
river.
stoked.
Yeah, floating in a
Yeah.
river, drinking water from a glacier. Like, okay, I'm in. Let's go.
Is there glacier water?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like some water boy shit right
Right?
there.
Yeah, special glacier water. Hell yeah.
Elixir.
You know,
oh, cool. Yeah, that's going to be great. I mean, we're really stoked to be back in the Pacific Northwest for some festivals. We've done a bit of touring, but now that I guess we've gotten our name out there, some of the festivals are coming around, and we get to see how you guys kind of party. And you know, for the Pacific Northwest is got to be the hardest place to leave as a native East Coaster. You know, once we started touring Colorado, it became harder to get home.
yeah, I bet.
Everywhere is just a postcard.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
very
It's
true.
just unreal.
It's amazing.
I think after Meltdown, we're going to be with Humphreys actually
Oh,
for
cool.
2 shows.
Wow.
I took a peek at the venues. It was the Kettle House, which is the Kettle House Amphitheater in Montana, or is that the one in Salt Lake City?
Not sure
There's,
on that.
I know there's 2. Well, I think you're right. I think the Salt Lake one is like Red Butte Garden or something like that. But my drummer is like all about the pictures beforehand. He just gets him pumped. It kind of freaks me out sometimes. When,
Really?
like, you look at, I don't know. I mean, I'm always ready for like the biggest stage you want to give me, but I'm still a human being and don't love to stare at my shot too long. Like if you're like taking free throws in basketball, it's helpful to not stand there and stare at the hoop for 20 minutes.
True.
You just kind of, take 2 dribbles and shoot, So, but I
Psych
did look
yourself
at these
out.
amphitheaters. Yeah, a little. I mean, I'm always, again, I already went through the I forgot my line phase, so I'm really
Right.
not too scared of any shows. But I also, like I said, I learned, like, if you're taking a penalty kick at soccer, it's helpful to just take a little walk around, show up, walk up, shoot the ball like you always do.
Kettle House is
but-
in Montana, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, those pictures, it kind of looks like the Gorge almost, which
Oh,
is one of those
wow.
last remaining venues I haven't been to that I like possibly my number one bucket list to either
Oh,
play or
shit.
go to a show at the Gorge, just because of the just natural beauty of it all. And it's cool that we'll be opening for Humphreys, which means, when we're headlining, we don't really get to soak in the venue as much. But when we get to kind of come in, let it rip, and then catch a whole show, we get more of the kind of fan experience, which will be nice for the first time around those venues.
Yeah, you got the kick-ass time slot for Strum It too, man. That
Oh,
like,
yeah?
like 11:30 at night. That's like
Oh, hell
everybody's juiced up and ready to go by that time.
yeah. And I feel like we're like one of the few electric fans, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, with a name like Northwest String Summit, I assume it's a lot of bluegrass.
It
They
was
mixed it up this
they
year.
mixed
They
it
had
up, yeah.
Dark Star Orchestra.
Ghost Light.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Ghost Light. The Shook Twins
Oh,
were
awesome.
playing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's gonna be fun,
Cool.
man. I'm looking forward to it,
Yeah.
Greg.
Well, we're going to give it 110%.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Bring
Greg,
it back around.
Greg, right before we started, I was like, okay, we have to get Greg to say 110% at least twice. And you said
I
it. You did 110%. Thank you so much, Greg.
Do I get a piece of that bet or what?
Fuck yeah.
we're gonna settle up at Strum It.
You
All
got it,
right,
man.
we'll settle up. All right.
I just have to add one thing, man, because
No.
this was one of the coolest things to us. Good friends of ours,
Oh,
Audrey and Jason, are
Yeah.
the ones that we were on the fence. I mean, not much on the fence, but your show at Wonderland Ballroom, they pushed us off the fence. They're like, if you guys don't go, you're idiots. Kind of just summed it up like you should be there. So we went. Then we meet them. We become very good friends with them. They were listeners of ours. Now they're like family. They came over here
wow.
with their kids a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
and
shit.
their kids, their favorite band is Pigeons.
The kid,
I mean, they're like,
their
man.
son's favorite song is King Kong. He's like 5 years old, dude.
What?
Yeah.
They're
Wow,
like
that's not
five
even
and
on an
8.
album.
Yeah. So
Deep
if you could give a shout out to Darla and Simon and Audrey and Jason, that would be awesome.
Okay, well, you send me a text message and my cut for the 110%.
All right.
All right.
No, we're gonna do it in person. Remember
Yeah.
at Summit.
Okay, cool.
You got it,
Well,
man.
that's awesome. Please thank them for dragging people out, and the circle of life only continues if you drag out the next, unsuspecting flockers. So
You're right.
You have
know,
a deal,
I-
my friend. You have a deal. And seriously, man, thank you for the advice. I heard what you said, man, for real.
Oh, well, you'll find. I have faith in you. I think everyone struggles with, when they're so passionate about what they're doing. It's important to, take a step back and think about how it affects others. And when you have the opportunity to be there, you just give it that lot of percent.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Now that I know that there's bets in play, I feel like a bit of a pawn.
Oh, don't feel
You
like
did-
a pun.
you did perfect.
We couldn't have planned it anyway. this was a, like on the fly thing. So you participated. You played the part well.
I love it. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you
Aw.
so much. I appreciate you having me on the podcast, and I really look forward to meeting, hanging in person.
All right,
Greg,
great.
same
Have a good night,
here.
man, and safe
Yeah.
travels to you, man.
And congratulations
Cool.
on everything, all your success and your wife and all that.
Oh, thank you so much. Seems like likewise. So keep doing what you're doing, and let's kick it in Oregon.
You
All
got
right.
it, brother. Have a good night.
All right.
I don't have it.
Oh. Never mind. Hi.
I didn't
I don't know what I'm doing. Wow.
You're giving Apple shade behind the scenes.
I was just ready to
I was
start
just giving
mashing
him-
thing. He's like, mash the button. Wow, dude.
Well, I was doing. I was poking my hand, but I guess that would be like hang up the phone. Would be like your hand going towards the ground at a horizontal
This is
angle.
hang up now.
Yeah, this is hang up.
Text somebody.
Okay, hang on a second.
Wow.
Hey, Greg. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
Aw, Greg, thank you.
That was super cool. What can you even say at this
I don't
point?
know.
Like, the people that we're meeting are the sweetest people on the planet. That's it. Like,
Just like for real, listening to him today and then hearing his voice, and he just sounds excited about life.
yeah.
Yeah.
His voice just sounds like an excited, like he's thrilled. And then you look at his pictures, he's got that same look on his face, like that freaking
Yeah, that's a challenge.
stoked, happy.
If we can find a sad picture of Greg or Andy Frasco.
Yeah, I don't want to see it either.
A sad picture of scrambled Greg. I don't think so.
He was in his blue period.
No. Well, I'm sure everybody goes through a blue period, but he seems like such a sweetheart.
Yeah, man.
A
And
sweetheart.
and you know that band, like, I don't know if we minimized it, but like that night that we went and saw them at Wonder Ballroom, to this day is one of my favorite shows that we went to.
It was very special.
It was so much fun.
So special.
And
Sydney was there with the baby in her belly.
Oh yeah.
It was such a
Yeah.
ride. Like, the night was such a ride. They took us on a roller coaster of music that night.
Yeah.
If you guys out there haven't seen them, like, I'm not just hyping it because of the podcast. Like, you really need to go check them out.
They
It
just
is a
have a way
live
of
music
they have a way of
experience.
getting you moving and grooving and like a party.
It's a
party.
definite, and like I said to him, the thing that comes through from him and the band is fun.
Yeah.
Like, every band has like a different personality. All the members together make up this one person that is the band. You know what I mean? And not every band is fun like that. Some bands are a little edgy. Some
Some are
bands
serious.
Some are serious. Some are a little scary. Some are dark. Some, if Pigeons was a person, he would have like a onesie on and like. But not ironically. No, absolutely not ironically. Yeah, and just be like ready to party and probably have a boombox with some Stevie Wonder going on it. I don't know. That's how I see it. Like, they're fun.
Yeah, super fun.
Well,
Thanks for joining us, Greg. Seriously, what a fun, cool thing
Fun.
that you're doing in this world is bringing fun to thousands of people. Like,
Yeah.
who can say that? Yeah, hi. I bring fun to thousands of people
Frasco can say it.
all over the world.
Frasco, that's
Yeah.
why they were so good together, man. That
And
it really fit.
And approach it, like he said, all these life lessons, like with
Yeah.
the humility and grace and the
Yeah.
sharing, the team.
And grateful.
team
He's
thing.
they're all grateful. They have gratitude, and that is the fuel to stay humble and be confident. Is gratitude.
You think so?
Heck yes. To
me
keep your
think about that. Hang
keep
on a
your
second.
humility in check
Okay.
by being grateful.
Well, I guess if you're
By
grateful,
acknowledging the things that are good in your life,
yeah,
instead of using something else to drag you down and make you feel like you're just like everyone else, kind of humble.
and if you're being grateful for the things in your life, then you're not being braggadocious
no.
or haughty. I'm using really big words for everybody out there. And
It's actually
No,
pretty
it
haughty.
instills a certain
Yeah,
type of
haughty's a
confidence.
short word.
what?
I said it instills a certain type of confidence in you when you can properly understand who you are and your powers. Like when you've practiced really good and you're testing for like your black belt, and you're confident because you studied. And like he said, the fun and fundamentals, right? Like
Fundamental.
learning the fundamentals and like studying and practicing and dress rehearsals and doing it, like doing the craft. It makes you better. It makes it fun. It makes you be able to like weave in and out of it better, because if you know what's supposed to happen at what time, that's kind of like you were talking about improvising. Then that's when you can improvise because you know the rules already.
Yeah, and that because you've done those movements, scales, motions, whatever, so many times that it's rote memory in your mind. It's muscle memory at that point.
Mhm.
And now you're getting up and doing the performance. And the more that we do this, the more I understand, at least with the people that we've spoken to, the performance. And I mean, I've known this ever since getting turned on to the Dead, but I'm understanding it better now, is that it's an interplay between the fan and the band. And I mean, I've always known that, but I kind of see how it works now. It's like you have the fundamentals and you get up there and let go, and that energy takes over between you and them, and then whatever comes out of your practice is the show. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
No, not
Just
at
checking.
All. Wow. Oh.
I had a bunch of blank faces over here.
No, you didn't have blank faces. I was
That was a complete thought.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, it was like
There's nothing else to add.
yeah, it was period at the end.
All right. Well,
We had there's no critiques or anything. That was well put.
all right.
It's just always like if we're talking, I always like to think of like whoever we're talking to is, unbeknownst to them or even us, is going to teach us something. Do you know what I mean? Like we always have these interviews where maybe a time in our life, like, you know what, we need, like with Marco, when he ended up like picking up on a conversation that we were having
Or
on
Reed.
the car ride, or Reed, exactly.
Read still to this day.
Well,
Or any of them. I mean, I'll say
of them,
every single one of them. That's
them.
what makes us fun.
That-
Unknown,
yeah,
going
that's-
into it with it's no predetermined conversation.
Well,
No.
Like the
that's
music.
that's what I wrote. Preston.
Oh, Preston.
Preston wrote us a letter. Really
beautiful.
Wrote me a really sweet letter, and I answered the letter, and I wrote something back to him that I was like, "Holy shit! I just wrote that," and it stuck with me. So we talk a lot about like dissolving genre, right? And how like the conversations that we have are like a jam, right? And I said to Preston, there is no genre in conversation. And it's true. Like there is no expectation. When you sit down to have a conversation with somebody, you may have a topic, but there's no genre. You're not answering in a certain style. It's not like that. Your conversation is open. It can happen in any way.
Yeah, unless it's intentional.
Right. Well, yeah, unless you're teaching a class or something,
Yeah,
you know,
or
but
if
I'm
you go into it like, I'm going to be an ass. Or,
that's your
I'm going
genre.
about this funny. Yeah.
Apple's conversation genre is asshole. Yeah, but there is no genre to conversation, and I think that's the cool part about doing this and talking to these people is that it's a open communication between the band and the audience, the participant, or the interviewers and the interviewee, or us and them, or whatever. It's those two parts coming together, making one complete thing. And that's fucking cool, man. I dig it. So,
I agree.
anyway,
Ditto.
anyhow,
Anywho.
here we are. We're on the porch. More later.
Yeah, more later.
Thanks, guys.
This was thanks.
Thanks for
joining
listening.
us. Thanks for being here, Greg.
Yeah, Greg, thank you so much for spending time with us
We
on a
appreciate
weeknight.
it.
And we can't wait to meet you at Summit and then again party down at Summer Meltdown.
And if you haven't seen Pigeons, please just go do it.
And shout out Andy and Barbara to a fine young man.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Well
done, Greg's
Well
mom and
done.
dad. Well done. Follow us on all the social medias at No Simple Road, and take care of each other. Don't be mean to each other out there, because you know what? There's a lot of meanness out there in the world, and you can make
Change
that
that.
stop by just being nice. It's really simple.
You could do that by giving it a little extra effort.
What, 110%?
I wasn't going to say
I'll
it.
say it.
You gave 10% more than the most you've ever given.
Okay.
That would be
100%. Anyway.
110.
And don't forget to buy your tickets to Summer Meltdown and Northwest String Summit. They are still available. It's happening next week. Come hang out with the No Simple Road family. Come see Pigeons Playing Ping Pong.
Yep.
And Dark Star Orchestra and the Shook Twins and Infamous String Dusters at Summit. And go see Humphreys McGee at Summer Meltdown.
And once
and
you see
Tipper.
Pigeons, you will be a flocker.
Yep. Mel would be a mother flocker. She sure would. Yeah.
What do you mean would be?
Well, okay, you're a mother flocker, Mel.
Yeah. Would be.
Well, you know what I meant.
Well,
No, I know what you said.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, be kind. Be nice to each other. Smile at a stranger.
Hug somebody.
Do it. Do it right now. Well, don't do it right now. That might get weird wherever you're at.
I mean, depending on your gauge.
Judge your
Gauge the spatial
situation.
awareness, body awareness. Yep, definitely. And remember to hydrate, safety third, and love each other. And we'll be back soon with more stuff and things. And we love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Like twist and turn, the mission turning, it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth of melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? Still, no simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Osiris.